I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. I'm the head coach for NoBSCoachingAdvice.com and JobSearchCoachingHQ.com. And I was thinking this weekend at one point when the old Peter Drucker saw came into my mind. If you can't measure it, or if you don't measure it, you can't manage it. I was thinking about how HR organizations sometimes manage the wrong thing, or measure the wrong thing, I should say, and how organizations are deluded by the wrong thing. Now, Liz Ryan had a great piece not long ago that appeared in Forbes, where she talked with someone who is an advisor like a resident advisor. And she said, how do you manage the success, or how do you measure the success of an event that you put on? By the number of attendees. But what about if the attendees walk in, start listening, think it's absolutely ghastly, start trickling out, start muttering under their breath how awful it was, and the result winds up being at the end you have two people sitting there till the very end. You've measured that there were a certain number of attendees, but not that they all left. So you've protected a bad program by claiming 40 attendees, let's say, or 50 attendees. Now let's go to the hiring process. You measure time to hire, and often HR recruiters and corporations are measured by that. But often time to hire is impacted by hiring manager behavior. Are you measuring that? Now here's the important things. Are you talking with the job hunter who walked in the door about their experience? Do you have a link on your website and hand them a card at the end saying, we'd like some feedback on our process. What worked for you, what didn't? And you might ask them questions about how well explained was the position to you before you walked in the door? Did it differ from what was explained to you by the hiring manager or by any of the people on his or her staff once you came in? Were the questions relevant to evaluating you for the position? How so? And giving them a free-form opportunity to provide feedback. You see, for a lot of the hiring managers, they're pretending that they are sultans up high, sitting back, and they can hide behind the fact that they can point to HR as being a problem because time to hire is a measurement of HR effectiveness, not of their behavior. But if you start looking at the hiring manager behavior and working on improving that, like, are the questions being asked relevant to evaluating and assessing someone? And then post-hire, I'm just using a couple of examples. I want to encourage you to have your own creativity here. But post-hire, a lot of hiring managers have buyer's remorse about the people that they bring on board. And certainly the statistics I've seen is within 6 months, they know this person was not the right hire. And that's more than 80%. I think the number I saw was 90, but I'm not absolutely sure. So I'm going to drop it down to 80% of hiring managers have buyer's remorse post-hire. And you can only imagine the same is true for the job hunter, for the new employee. So they become disengaged, which becomes part of your engagement problem. So I'm curious, how many of you really set out to figure out whether or not the hiring manager has done a good enough job evaluating and assessing people? Not just simply on the basis of employee turnover and the exit interview that you do, because I think exit interviews are too late. I think you want to be measuring this throughout their tenure and giving people the opportunity to provide quiet information back channel online, because the technology is all there. Go find it if it really matters to you. But if it doesn't really matter to you, stop lying to job hunters that they're anything more than industrial factory workers, because that's really the way you're teaching them. They're commoditized individuals. If it really matters to you, what their experience is, you'll start measuring these qualities as well and use them not as a punitive measure for hiring managers, but as a way of educating them and informing them about how to do a better job. Hope you find this helpful. And if I could help you with your staffing, not from a recruiting standpoint, but from helping you improve your process, reach out to me. My email address is jeffaltman@thebiggamehunter.us. Have a spectacular day. Take care.